Hey friends, a couple of days ago, I ran across a document that I obviously wasn't supposed to see, and it's correspondence between two of my doctors, my primary care doctor and my neurologist. And it was pure happenstance how I found this document. This video is basically about self-advocacy, right? Um, and standing up for yourself to your doctor and finding the care that you need and being an advocate for yourself because I see people who are low testosterone. They need testosterone replacement therapy, and they're getting shut down by their endo and urologist. Well, now it's time to take care, matter into your own hands and go shopping for a TRT clinic that's going to take care of you. You got to do your own research to make sure you're not getting fucked over, make sure you're not getting, sold drugs you don't need, etc. So now it's, your responsibility to take care of your own health, which unfortunately is the case in the medical system in America, and a lot of vectors, which sucks, but it's the way it is. You got to be your own advocate. So by pure chance, okay, so 2 days ago, I got a PET scan. All right. And if you see my last video, it's a compilation of just little clips over the past year. You have some idea of what I've been through. I've got a presumed diagnosis of autoimmune encephalitis, which is inflammation of the brain. Had some treatment. I'm quite a bit better, but I've still got a long way to go. Now, I got a PET scan 2 days ago that I had asked for my neurologist to send in. I asked her, can you please send in a PET scan? I've seen some evidence for its diagnostic utility in autoimmune encephalitis cases. And anytime I get something diagnostic that is abnormal, it increases my likelihood of a confirmed diagnosis and specialized care and treatment. So anywhere I can get a diagnostic, I'm going to be pushing for it. But I got a disc to take home from that PET scan, a CD. I put it in my computer. They didn't have the software to read the images on the disc, so I couldn't read the images. So I decided, out of hundreds of files that were on this disc, to just convert a few of them over to JPEG using an online tool. And one of the 4 documents, which is just the odds of me finding this is astronomically slim, but one of the 4 documents that I ran across was correspondence between my primary care doctor, who is Dr. Sauter. I'm not going to tell you my location. Okay, I'm not doxing her. Dr. Sauter is my primary care doctor. Dr. Saeed is my neurologist. Okay, keep that in mind. It's a phone call message. All right. So I read this phone call message. It says, it's from the perspective of my primary care doctor, Dr. Sauter. She says, spoke with Dr. Saeed, my neurologist, in regards to Eric's care over the last several months. It appears that he has been overstepping boundaries from both a personal and professional sense, e.g. calling Dr. Saeed, my neurologist, on his personal cell phone. It appears that he has been micromanaging his own care by finding single studies online and demanding studies and treatments based on this reading regardless of the opinion of the specialist. I don't know who they're referring to there. I'm not under specialized care. He wanted a referral to many different specialties, including Virginia Mason, who originally gave me the corticosteroids, so I'm glad I argued for Virginia Mason referral, who had a proposed diagnosis of autoimmune encephalitis, etc. Now, the 2 points that stand out here are, she says, I overstepped my boundaries from both a personal and professional sense, e.g. calling Dr. Saeed, my neurologist, on a personal cell phone. Now, because I'm recording this on my phone, I can't send you clips of this. But, well, first of all, my neurologist happens to be a personal training client of mine. I was a personal trainer for about a year, maybe a little over a year. I trained her and her husband for a year. That's 3 hours a week for a year. You get to know a person really well when you're training them. You spend a lot of time, during your rest time talking, getting to know the person. They get to know you. So we were acquaintances, certainly, by the end of that year. And by the end of the year of personal training, right before I stopped personal training, they invited me over to dinner at their house, and we had dinner and wine. So you can see that we already have sort of an, relatively intimate relationship, me and this woman and her husband. Now, when I found out she was going to be my neurologist, when I started having problems, I was like, holy shit, I'm saved. I know this woman, she knows me, she might give me special attention, special care. My case is very serious and was very serious at the time. So for those 2 reasons, I thought I was going to get exceedingly good care. That turned out to not be the case. Regardless, she gave me her personal cell phone number and told me to contact her if I ever needed to, based on our previous history and because of how severe my case was. I have not contacted her on her cell phone since February, 7 months ago. And this phone call note is only from 5 days ago. So she's claiming I'm badgering her on her personal cell phone without her permission, which she granted me permission for at the very beginning of all of this. And I also said in a text message to her, please let me know if you'd like me to use the patient portal instead. I don't want to abuse your phone number. So she went behind my back to talk to my personal primary care physician and shit-talked me, saying that I was abusing her personal cell phone when she could have easily just told me, please talk through the patient portal, which I did, and I haven't messaged her or called her cell phone in 7 months out of respect towards her as a doctor and wanting to use her patient portal. That's to not like badger her. Then she says that it appears he has been micromanaging his own care by finding single studies online and demanding diagnostics and treatment based on the reading regardless of the opinion of the specialist. And this is the point that I kind of want to like hone in on, right? Is I sent a portal message not that long ago, a week ago, saying this verbatim. I said, I am wondering if it would be possible to send in a PET scan order to the local hospital in an effort to bolster my working diagnosis of autoimmune encephalitis. That's exactly what I said. Then I linked the PubMed article that demonstrated clinical evidence for the use of a PET scan in the diagnostic evaluation of patients with autoimmune encephalitis. That was it, a request. And she approved it, and there was no further note. That was it. She approved the PET scan. And then she goes behind my back and tells my primary care doctor that I'm demanding diagnostics, etc. And what I see here is a doctor who's too scared to say no, a doctor who's too scared to speak her mind, you know, a doctor who's too scared and doesn't have the balls to humble herself when a patient presents information that might be more up to date than she knows because she's not specialized. Now, when I read this initially, and I tried to make a video 2 days ago, I was raging pissed. I was almost in tears because she's kind of cock-blocked me at every fucking corner when I'm trying to get diagnostics or treatment. I cried in her office begging her, please, Dr. Saeed, please give me corticosteroids. I'm begging you. All arrows are pointing towards autoimmune encephalitis. First line treatment is corticosteroids. Please, I'm begging you, I'm suffering, tears literally in her office. And she says no. I make 2 long trips over to Seattle, 7-hour drives to get permission from Daddy, MS specialist over there at Virginia Mason, to order her basically to send in the corticosteroids. And so she does, and I have significant improvement. So you can see why I have this kind of habit of, if I have an idea, I'm going to push it because I was fucking right the first time and it brought me significant relief. Now I do it politely, of course. Always be polite to your doctor, right? You're not gonna get anywhere being an asshole. But it was a shock to me to see that my neurologist and basically my friend, who I had a business relationship with and a partial friendship because I had personal trained her, right? That's a business transaction, which is a very personal thing to do. I'm having her do fucking lunges. She's sweating, etc. She's not in her white coat, you know, and then they invite me over for dinner and wine, and they send me home with leftovers, and they're laughing and joking. And in the text messages after I had my first appointment with her, she's sending me pictures of her dog, and we're talking and joking and things like that. So it's very casual. And then she goes behind my back and starts shit-talking me like this to my primary care doctor, which smears my reputation for my very good primary care doctor who I have a good relationship with. Now, all of this is unrelated to you guys, right? This is all my shit. And I feel kind of bad about that because, I don't know, I want a relationship. I want this to be a two-way street, right? When I talk to a fucking camera, it's just weird because I'm just shouting out my shit and you guys just have to listen to me. But I think the lesson to be learned here is that, number one, you can't always trust your doctors to have your best interest in mind, right? I got my neurologist to send in the fucking corticosteroids, which helped me significantly. I pushed her to do the PET scan. I have to push, because she's not at the helm taking charge of my health. That's unfortunate, but that's the case. So if you ever see your doctor not taking care of you properly, find a new doctor, politely push for the treatment you think you deserve or the diagnostics you think you deserve, and don't take no for an answer if you think that's the wrong decision. That's basically the fucking lesson from this video. But overall, it's just fucking hilarious because this woman I spent so many hours with getting to know and on a personal level, um, let me down in so many ways over the past year. And the way she took care of me when I was in severe distress, and then now she basically chastises me behind my back when I was texting her at my lowest points in my life, asking her for help, guidance, things like that. Months and months and months ago, 7 months ago, and she chastises me now behind my back about it. Basically, this video is a doc. I don't like. I'm on the verge of saying fuck doctors because I haven't met a good doctor yet. One day I will. One day I'll find a doctor who will help me with diagnostics and treatment and will fully resolve my condition. Until then, I have not experienced good care under any physician. And you got to be careful. Now we're switching to TRT topic here, okay? You gotta be careful when you're doing TRT, right? Because your urologist says no, your endo says no, because you're 1.1 nanogram per deciliter above the reference range, right? They deny you testosterone replacement, which is fucking stupid, and everybody knows that. Everybody, the layman knows it, right? But the professional, the specialist, does not. So that's a fucking perfect example on why you shouldn't trust your doctor to the nth degree on just because they went through med school. Because an idiot can make it through med school. You know, someone without common sense. Someone with book smarts makes it through med school, but if they don't have common sense, they're going to be a bad doctor. Sorry, my brain gives out every once in a while. Oh, so, fuck, sorry. You got to be your own, I fucking lost track of my train of thought. I'm sorry. You have to be your own advocate in the TRT arena, because your urologist turns you down, your endocrinologist turns you down, and then now you have to go to a TRT clinic, right? And now they're going to try to take advantage of you by selling you drugs you don't need, by putting you on ridiculous protocols. And then you're going to have, this is what I was going for, where a PA, oftentimes it's a primary physician's assistant, who's going to be responsible for your care, right? A physician's assistant is a medical professional who has been trained for 2 years. None of that training is involved in hormone replacement, and yet they can, and often in most states, in a lot of states, depends on the state laws, they can own a clinic so long as they are supervised by an MD. And that means that the MD doesn't even have to be on site. They can be remotely supervising a PA, and the PA can own a TRT clinic and prescribe and take care of you with hormone replacement, with literally no experience or training on the subject. And I got screwed over when I first got on TRT. They crashed my estrogen multiple times, shot my dose through the roof. I went through side effect hell until I adjusted my dosage and protocol, and then my PA thinks he dialed me in. It's like, no, I dialed myself in, idiot. So your endo shuts you down, your urologist shuts you down, and now you're in this kind of wishy-washy space of TRT clinics of like, you don't know if they're going to take care of you properly. So now it's up to you to do your research and know if you're being taken care of properly, which is a fucking shame. And it's the bane of the medical system that the patient has to be their own advocate, and they have to rely on their own research and knowledge in order to get the best care out of their physician, instead of just handing the reins over to their physician to take care of them. In an optimal world, there should be a two-way street with a physician, where they trust you to follow through with their care and what they tell you to do, and you trust them to be up to date on recent practices and and basically trust them to know what's best for you. Unfortunately, that trust in America, at least, has been completely shattered, where the doctor doesn't listen to the patient experience, and the patient can't rely on the doctor's knowledge. That's not a system that works well at all. Anyway, that's the story for today. Just a shocker that my fucking friend of old went behind my back to talk shit. And yeah, I'm ashamed of the medical system in America, and I'm ashamed of doctors and physicians' assistants. I've seen a lot of people hurt, and I've been hurt by them significantly over this past year. So watch out for yourself, because your doctor doesn't always know what's best. You know, they prescribe you finasteride for hair loss, and now you're having significant problems. You got to do your research, dude. I know a lot of you guys do. You guys are really smart, and I'm just rambling at this point. I'm preaching to the choir, basically. I know you guys are smart guys who are very interested in your hormonal health and health in general, and you don't let people take you for a ride. So I respect you guys for that. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate you guys listening. Bye.